Man, are we already at the end of attachment stereotypes? Time sure does fly by fast. But as much as I'd like to stretch this intro out, I can't keep you guys waiting any longer. So after all this wait, I bring you guys the final episode of Phantom Force's attachment stereotypes. But first, the good old disclaimer. These stereotypes do not apply to everyone. They have reasons for existing, but there will always be exceptions. For example, if the stereotype for the Kozaku site is it's exclusively used by hypersweats, that doesn't necessarily mean you actually are a hypersweat, but that's basically what everybody thinks about you when you use the Kozaku site. Okay, are we good now? Have people understood? Okay, cool. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Alright, you almost never run into somebody using this, as it's a very niche conversion for a gun that's already insanely powerful as it is. But those who do use it are a force to be reckoned with, as they basically turn Phantom Forces into a point-and-click adventure game. So don't even bother trying to 1v1 them in a sniper duel, because their bullets basically travel twice the speed of yours. Alright, personally I only know one other person who uses this conversion, and their motives were simply just to be different than the rest, so yeah. This is another conversion going in the pretty much never used list. And again with the conversions basically no one uses. I get Stylus wants to make this game very customizable and unique, but adding 70 different conversions that all do the same that nobody will even use is not the best way to go with it. Alright, so people who use this pretty much don't exist anymore because they were crucified by literally every single Gyrojet main in existence as soon as they saw them using the 12mm rockets. But rest assured, there are still a few survivors running this on the Gyrojet pistol. People who use this play pretty similarly to your average VSS Ventoris user. You see, while their gun is meant for long range, they keep insisting on using it in close range because it just so happens to have an automatic fire mode. Whether they can actually aim or not is a separate case. Let's face it, chances are you only use this when Strider is live to intentionally target him with this only to immediately get hard kicked by Strider because he hates his gun more than anything. Alright, so the only time you see anybody using any of these attachments, let alone the E-gun, is when you're in a game with the E-gun CEO or the 1 to 2 actual E-gun mains out there, and just choose their discs based on their color preference. Hi, Stylus here for the all-new E-gun, the fully electric mini railgun. The E-gun is perfect for any situation. When your home is being invaded by pesky thieves, just bust out this bad boy with the home defense setup to instantly wipe your home clear of any threats. But that's not all. Let's say you have a group of angry HK416 mains complaining about 15 BMGs being overpowered. Well, with the E-gun crowd control setup, fear not, as the inner mechanics allow the E-gun to fire at up to 1000 rounds per minute. Now what about the times where there are one too many bad guys for the E-gun to handle? Well, don't worry, because it does not come alone. With the Collector's Edition, we have added an additional variant of the E-gun, also known as the Coil Gun. This secondary variant comes with everything the E-gun has to offer at a lower price tag. But good news! For the small price of $87.95, you can upgrade your coil gun with the experimental full power upgrade, which after extensive testing has been tweaked to only explode in your hands once every 1000 rounds. But shooting that many rounds all day costs a lot of power, so for times when the electrical bill is just a tad too high, we introduced the low power option. This will basically put your coil gun on battery saver so you can expect lower performance but for a more affordable price. So what are you waiting for? Go to www.garbageweaponsfornoskillplayers.com where you can now pre-order the entire E-gun package for only 2,500 USD, and if you use code SUBSCRIBE at checkout, you'll save 7 cents off your next purchase. people who use full auto conversions are usually a bit on the younger side of the player base and struggle with using pretty much anything that isn't automatic. Most commonly seen on the Saiga 12, people who use this are also in a constant civil war with the AA12 mains that will probably go on until the end of time because both sides refuse to back down. Now, the complete opposite can be said with semi-auto conversion mains. These people are absolute giga-chads who play Phantom Forces to have fun and don't focus on using objectively correct setups or meta weapons. So you will pretty much never see this used ever unless Stylus reverts the burst change. But back before the burst nerf, people would abuse burst grouping with a macro for pretty much free recoil reduction without any notable downsides. But then Stylus completely nerfed burst, making this attachment pretty much worthless. So people who run this conversion are 50-50. Either they are an absolute tryhard who completely shreds the server, or they're a memer who ends up going 4-31.
游戏保持着前作般的高自由度，玩家可以随心所欲地进行犯罪活动。
So people who use this are that one cult SMG main who unironically uses this and is still determined to spray this at long range despite the fact that it has only worked twice this year. So there are two types of AE Uzi users in this world, the generic auto-clickers and the absolute Sigma males that have the most versatile trigger finger in existence combined with pinpoint accuracy ready to obliterate you the second you show your face.
Okay, you've seen one AA12. Now you're going to get to see two AA12.
People who use the 50-round drum on the Tommy gun go for the traditional Italian Mafia aesthetic and usually don't run anything else other than the drum mag and alt-aim. People who still use this are old-school MP5K mains who refuse to move over to the new meta and rather stick to the old meta. These people also plain simply ignore the barrel rework and the 10mm nerf altogether. Or they're that one FBI fanboy who uses this on the Tommy gun. Now the people who use this are like the people who use Romanian grip. They only ever use guns that have this available and refuse to use anything else. People who use this claim to have known that the name was wrong after the whole name rework, when in reality they probably asked a million questions on r/Phantom Forces when the name change originally came about. Alright, people who use this are actually very scary to fight against. I'm talking C720 tactical level scary. Like, I have no idea how, but these people will pretty much just laser you at any range with almost inhumane reaction time. Okay, this is 100% used by memers because it's just plain terrible. Like, at first it seems overpowered until you spray it once and realize, wow.
Whoa! This is worthless.
Alright, people who use .45 long cold either A, pre-bought this before realizing the Executioner existed, or B, watched my Phantom Forces Spy TF2 video and actually decided to recreate the loadout. Or C, you're that one guy going for the CEO position. Alright, so most people use this conversion on the M107, and despite everything we know about M107 mains, these people actually go for headshots. And since they now have over 4,000 muzzle velocity and 13 studs of penetration to do so, you actually have to be a bit cautious when fighting these guys. And the same can be said for those who use it on the Hecate. As a slap ammo main, I simply don't believe in the existence of walls. You see that wall? Gone. You see that box commonly used for cover? Gone. You see this entire map? Gone. Now this is pretty much exclusively used by memers. You can't really pin it on people who bought it because the name sounded cool, because chances are they looked at the stats a mere second before buying it and thought, wow, this is worthless. Alright, so it's safe to say most people who use this probably also play Counter-Strike in their spare time and constantly jump between playing the two. Oh, and it can be expected that their skins in Phantom Forces probably heavily remind of literally any popular skin from Counter-Strike.
What's they spell? Loads of money, probably. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of dosh. Dibble, 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 bosh, bosh, bosh.
Alright, so this has become the go-to conversion for many sniper mains who commonly use the AWM or TRG, as it's practically a direct upgrade now. Seriously, Norma gives more velocity, more penetration, more damage, and speed in exchange for a small nerf to your CQC kill range.
The TRG. It's a great sniper rifle boasting a limb kill at close range and an even farther torso kill range. Now, take that power and replace it with pure dopamine and speed. The TRG-22 achieved that by reducing its damage but hence increasing its chambering speed and reload speed, making it basically a direct upgrade to the Remington 700. No, really, it has the same aim speed, walk speed, and reload speed with a similar enough muzzle velocity that muscle memory can translate between both weapons. The only main difference it has compared to the Remington 700 is its torso kill range and magazine capacity, both of which the 22 excels at compared to the Remington 700. Now, there's just no reason to use the 700 at this point, and like the 700, these people that use the TRG-22 are fucking terrifying to fight against, having near perfect aim, godlike movement, and basically top scored almost every round. All this with most probably the stock TRG and normal TRG irons. Except I'm not one of those guys. I use the TRG-22 but still awful at the game.
Alright, so people who use this are stubborn mobs and mains who abused this back when it was good and still stick by it even though it's not nearly as good as it used to be. There are three types of people who use Dust Shot. Those who use it on the M107 to make it a bootleg Saiga 12, those who use it on the Heke to make it a bootleg KS-23M, and lastly those who use it on the SFG to make it a bootleg Thumper.
Oh yeah, by the way, did I mention these guys are memers?
So there are two types of people who use the 9.6 conversion. Either they are using it on the SVDS for the usual CQC quickscoping setup, or they are combining it with the full auto conversion for the SVU for a surprisingly strong and strange recreation of the VSS Venturas.
Hey Peter, check it out, my new electric wheelchair.
People who use the air service mag are the types of people to only use guns that have an extended mag available and always pre-buy it. So this is pretty much exclusively used by FT300 mains who are completely obsessed with penetration and easy to use muzzle velocity. Although the thing is, I think they actually meant to pre-buy the... Now this is the conversion pretty much every single FT300 main uses, as who can deny 6 dots of penetration accompanied by nearly 3,900 muzzle velocity. It's a good thing you rarely see these guys because trust me, if they were more common, Phantom Forces would probably lose half its player base thanks to rage quits. People who use this always combine it with the marksman kit and are absolute memers. Or they're that one person who uses it on either the Uzi or Chris Vector with surprisingly good aim. You know, at first you'd think this was a meme conversion until you use it for like 2 lives and realize, wow, they just made the Stairs Scout not complete garbage. And with that said, most Stairs Scout users have now started maining this conversion. Hey guys, welcome back to another Phantom Forces ASMR. Wait, what? I'm whispering, what the hell? Okay, that was weird. Anyways, today we're gonna be using the 300 Whisper. Okay, seriously, what is happening? Okay, I swear to God, if I tone down to a whisper one more time, I'm gonna... Fuck! So people who still use this were the people who bought it back when the 8mm conversion just got nerfed while this was completely under the radar. But then more and more people started using it, and so when stylists noticed their mistake, it was sadly also nerfed. And so the people who still use this probably only use it to justify wasting thousands of credits for it. So this is pretty much used by every single NTW main in existence because of how absurdly stupid this conversion is. I mean, never in Phantom Force's history has there been a gun that can literally one-shot to the limb anywhere. Not to mention the complete absurd amount of penetration making slap ammo look like a simple armor-piercing buff. I almost don't even need to cover this one, as the previous conversion just completely overshadows this, as it really has nothing in comparison. Alright, so some time ago, stylists decided that DMRs were a little bit underpowered, so to combat this issue, they created the most obscure monstrosity of a conversion ever conceived by man. Combine that with DMR users' competent aiming capabilities, and you have created one of the hardest types of players to kill in the entire game. Seriously, you can't beat these guys with regular weapons. The only thing that can kill them are fellow one-shot kill weapons, because anything else is simply too slow.
Ooh, I wonder what this does! Oh, I'm gay now. Huh.
So pretty much anybody who has used the Boxy Buster uses this, as there really isn't any reason not to. In fact, if somebody isn't using the elite darts on the Boxy Buster, it's guaranteed because they're still grinding for it. So people who pre-bought this probably thought it would be overpowered, only to realize 2 lives in that this really wasn't worth the credits they spent for it.
It's not for the bad! Yeah!
So to tell what type of person you're dealing with here, all you need to know is whether they're using this on the L5 or XIX. If they're using it on the L5, they are probably a clueless lower rank who really likes the L5 but thinks the recoil is a bit much. But if they're using it on the XIX, I'll guarantee you that they're running this with the police stock and extended barrel for the most scuffed pocket DMR setup ever. And despite it being a deagle, it's a surprisingly effective weapon to spam in CQC. So there are 2 ways to use the GB22. Either you invested into the one-shot conversion, or you invested into this sniper conversion. People who go with the sniper conversion are either really good or just plain terrible. Like the gameplay choice, it's a 50-50. So the people who decided to go with the one-shot CQC pistol route are similar to the sniper GB users, in the way that they are either really good or really, really bad. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I forgot this even existed. But hey, there is this one person in my Discord server who uses it. Anyways. So it's universally known that if you use this, you are automatically dragged into a civil war between 2 sides. On one half, there are the stock ammo GSP mains, who do everything in their power to gaslight any other ammo type that GSP has. And on the other half, there are people like you who are unlike the 1% of Phantom Forces players that can actually hit headshots in this game, aka the stock ammo GSP mains. You know, I think most people who use the SAS kind of forgot what the pistol was even meant for, because literally every single SAS main I've ever seen uses this conversion. And it's the same case as with the heavy bolt on the MG3. Like, dude, the whole purpose of the SAS was to be a sniper pistol, and you literally turned it into a worse GB22. Like, bro, just what? I don't understand humanity anymore. Oh my god, and I think that's it. That's every single ammo stereotype in Phantom Forces. I'm completely mentally and physically drained now, so if you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, as it really helps me to keep me motivated to make these big videos for you guys. Also, don't worry, the true finale of weapon stereotypes is coming soon. I'm just waiting for Stylus to wrap up a few things before finishing it. But until next time, peace.